This is Mark Bell from Slingshot World Headquarters, and a quote I want to share with you today before I get rocking and rolling is, anything that you're good at, you can be great at. Let's jump into this. I want to talk today about the law of attraction. And we're inside of Slingshot studio here. This is going to be a podcast recording area. We'll be doing Mark Bell's Power Project from here, as well as setting up what will kind of look like, I guess, more like a show, like a Today Show type of setup. So there'll be two different setups. There'll be a podcast studio in here, and we're going to go top of the line, state of the art, get some of the best people in the world to help and assist us in design and make sure that we leave no stone unturned. The podcast just continues to get better and better, and we just keep getting more and more viewers. We're in the millions of downloads every single month, and it just continues to skyrocket, and we got great support, and so that's been fantastic. But it's been a dream and a vision of mine to put together a studio that really represents the podcast really well. Currently, we have a great podcast studio, but as with everything, I wanted to advance it. And also, being a big believer in the law of attraction, I'm really big on putting out a concept out there and then watching it get fulfilled. It's like one of the greatest things. Being somebody that creates products and being an inventor, I do get asked a lot of business questions quite often, but it's a little odd for me to answer them because I don't know a lot about business. I know some basics that could really be helpful to somebody who was starting, and I do believe that I have pretty good instincts and intuition, but when it comes to like numbers and stuff, I suck at that. I don't know anything about it, and in fact, I don't even look at our numbers. I don't know what our numbers are on our sale of our gangster wraps and our knee sleeves and stuff like that. I don't know how many we order in a given purchase order. I don't know our profit margins and all that kind of stuff. I know some of it, and I used to know more of it, but I have removed myself from a lot of that stuff. The less I know, the better off I am, and the reason for that is I get to put and pour my imagination into everything. You got to keep in mind, imagination has built cities. Imagination has killed diseases. Imagination hasn't killed diseases. It's cured diseases. Imagination is, even said by Albert Einstein, more important than knowledge in some ways. I actually believe that knowledge is the backbone of imagination. I think that you need some knowledge. Otherwise, it's hard to have a creation. In my case, being somebody that's been in fitness for a long time, that's how I was able to come up with the slingshot. Somebody out of fitness most likely would have had a very difficult time coming up with that because they wouldn't have had the knowledge base or the experience base that I had with tearing my pec several times to come up with that. But being somebody that's a big believer in the law of attraction, the way that I see this shaping out and shaking out is that by building out this studio, this is going to attract some of the best names, some of the best people in the country, some of the best people in the world that you guys seen on other people's podcasts. We already have some of that with our podcast currently. We are continuing to make bigger strides and make bigger contacts and things of that nature. But when we ask somebody, when we try to get in contact with someone who's an A-lister, let's say, and they see the studio that we built out and they see what we have going on, they're going to want to be a part of this. And so I'm really excited about that. When it comes to the law of attraction, I think sometimes people are thinking that they just have to have this positive attitude, and having a positive attitude is huge. Having a positive attitude is something that is free. Having a positive attitude, it doesn't cost you anything. Sometimes it might cost you a little bit of energy because it's not always easy to be positive. It's a lot easier to be negative, right? But I think it goes beyond being positive. It's not just like wishful thinking. There's some weird things about the law of attraction that there's something like deep-rooted in it where you can't just say stuff that's not true. Like you can't just say, you can say whatever you want, but the thing that you're saying won't happen unless there's a chunk of truth to it, or unless you're trying to make something of yourself. So if you said, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be rich, is kind of the most common thing that I hear quite a bit. Wanting to be rich is not enough. You have to have some reasons behind it. What does it mean to you? What do you think that will do for you? Yeah, what's it all for? For me personally, so this is really weird, and I've seen this happen time and time again. For me personally, I don't care about money, and I never have, and I most likely, hopefully, never will. I do care about it in one sense. I do care about it because it does give me financial freedom. So I enjoy having money because money can make things more convenient. So I guess in a sense I do care about it at least a little bit, but it's not a priority and it's not something that has ever been high on my list. In fact, in terms of I like to use this term, value assignment, it has a very mild value assignment in my life. And it's been that way for a long time. Even when I didn't have any money, it didn't really matter. I'd go to draw money out of my bank account and didn't have enough money to even take money out because you need $25 or something to get $20 out of your ATM account or whatever, right? I've been there a bunch of times and the thing would say insufficient funds. It kind of made me frustrated, but I was like, I need to, or overdraw, I had to overdraw money or whatever it was. So it was annoying, it was frustrating, but I always just took it as well, I'm just going to do something about this. This is just permanent because I'm gonna one day figure this out. And I continued to work on it. I continued to work on myself. Another thing that I've noticed, and this is a little off topic of the law of attraction, but somewhat similar, is people that really are searching for acceptance and searching for compliments and I guess just real attention seekers, they seem to get the least of it. The people that seem to not care about it or play it cool seem to get the most of it. When it comes to those kinds of things, when it comes to attention, when it comes to we all love a pat on the back. We all love to get compliments, but liking compliments versus needing compliments are two totally different things. So I think when it comes to the law of attraction, it's important that these are things that you like and that you're interested in, and they're not necessarily things that you think you need. Because if you think you need money, you think money is going to make you happy, then we start to really run into a lot of problems. Because nothing or no one is going to make you anything. You make up your mind to be happy, you make up your mind on how you feel, and you don't want that to waver in the wind with how much money you're making or somebody else's thoughts or beliefs about you. I think that is a big negative in a lot of people's life that is stifling, and it's really hard for people to overcome, and it's hard for them to even believe in something like the law of attraction when they get offended by every little thing that happens in their life, or they get upset by the thoughts from other people. But thoughts from other people and opinions, the opinions of other people about you are simply just opinions. And they're not really worth anything. They don't have an impact on you. And I think that sometimes the opinions of others stifles our own creativity, stifles our own imagination, and doesn't even allow us to believe in the law of attraction. Because somebody that you place a high value assignment on, your brother, your sister, your mom, whoever, they're going to say, you can't do that. Come on, what are you talking about getting a Tesla? You're going to get a Tesla? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to get two of them. I'm going to have a white one, I'm going to have a black one. My wife's going to have one, I'm going to have one too. And we're both going to have Rolexes, right? You say something like that, people think you're crazy. They think you're talking crazy. But if you know why you would like to have those things, if you know why you would like to enjoy those things, you can one day have those things, because the things that you can be good at, you can eventually be great at. It just might take some time. If you're currently able to make money, let's say you're able to make $500 a week, could you make $800 a week? Could you figure that out? Could you figure out how to make 5 times the amount of money? Could you go from $500 to $2,500? And you're like, oh man, I don't know, because the style of work that you do, maybe you're trading too many hours for not enough dollars, and that can be complicated. But could you use your imagination? Could you utilize the law of attraction and say, hey, you know what? This space that I'm in, this stuff that I do, this stuff that I make 500 bucks a week for, I'm going to figure out like a creation or an invention or a product or something that makes this whole damn process a lot easier, because the way I do it is super inefficient and I don't make enough money. And I know there's probably other people that do this that are just like me. They're a painter, they're a landscaper, they're a whatever it might be. Whatever that job is, imagine you're sitting there doing something one day and you're like, man, painting around these doors is a real pain in the balls. I wonder if I made like a brush that just kind of like went on this weird angle, what it would do. You can do it. Don't let the thoughts and opinions of other people, though, stifle you down, because it won't even allow you to believe. It won't allow you to believe in yourself, which is the worst thing ever. Belief in yourself is, I think, the most powerful thing that there is. Having my mother pass away, just a couple days ago, it's been really extraordinary to kind of revisit how much she believed in me and my brothers. It was crazy, to the point where she seemed like a crazy lady. If you ran into her at the grocery store, you were going to hear about her boys. She was going to yell and scream at you about how awesome we are and how good we are. That's where a strong belief system for us came from. And I think for some of you guys that haven't had that, maybe it comes from this video. Maybe it comes from getting reinsurance from like a mentor. Maybe it comes from a father figure that you have in your life, or it comes from somewhere else. But it's got to come from somewhere. And the law of attraction can be a really tricky thing, because like I said earlier, it can't be based off of fake stuff. And you can't falsely believe in yourself. What I mean by that is, it doesn't matter how much belief my mom had in us. My brother Mike still died of a drug overdose. We almost lost Chris to a drug overdose. I got my own struggles going on. We all have struggles. It doesn't mean that you're going to be free of those struggles. It doesn't mean that you're going to be free of turmoil. It doesn't mean that you're going to be free of certain things, happening to you. But you cannot truly believe in yourself unless there's something to believe in. And my oldest brother didn't believe in himself enough to hang in there for long enough. He also was bipolar, so he had some really hard challenges. With my brother Chris, he hung in there just enough. It was tough. He went through some times that were not easy, that were difficult for him, they were difficult for my family, and I'm just grateful that he was able to hang in there enough and to believe in himself enough. And now he's doing great. Now he's in great shape. He lost a bunch of weight. Things are going really good for him, and he's moving forward. But if you don't believe in yourself, then you can't believe in the law of attraction. If you don't believe in yourself, it'd be really hard to be successful. Every once in a while, you might run into somebody who, feels like they're ugly, or they feel like they're dumb, or they feel like they're this, or they feel like they're that, and they have made it. But for the most part, if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to tell yourself that you're going to become anything, because deep down inside you're not anything yet. You haven't really done much. And so you need to do something. You need to do stuff. I heard a great quote from Elvis Presley recently. It was like in a letter that he wrote, and he said, everybody needs something to do, something to look forward to, and someone to love. I really liked that a lot. I thought that was dope. I was like, damn, fucking Elvis. He was amazing. But the reason why I bring that up is because I think that all these things are intertwined, and all these things are interconnected. I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. Hopefully you guys found this video to be useful for you. How can you believe in yourself more? I'm going to finish on that. How can you believe in yourself more? You're going to have to do stuff each day. Start to walk, start to run, start to lift, start to do some things, maybe they're just physical things at first, because you don't know how to do much else. Read, gain more knowledge. Knowledge, man, reading, listening to podcasts. How crazy is it you can take your phone? This is how the slingshot was invented. The slingshot wasn't invented because I know how to sew. The slingshot wasn't invented because I know how to make rubber and elastic bands and wrap them around my arms. The slingshot was invented off of my iPhone and utilizing Google. Do you have an iPhone? Do you have Google? Do you have a Starbucks? I was in a Starbucks on my iPhone using the Wi-Fi. I was probably on Google or whatever I was on. And I searched for what I searched for, and I found what I needed to find to get material to start to make the slingshots. The idea was dancing around in the head for a while because I injured myself many, many times, and I knew that I could make this product. Again, I had a belief in myself, but why did I have that belief in myself? Why did I think I could make a product? Why did I think that would ever do anything? You got to keep in mind, I was already a savage at that point. I was already lifting. I was already well on my way. I think I already benched 800 pounds and things of that nature. So I had a strong belief system in myself, and I could stack things up on top of that to be able to launch me forward into the future. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. Make sure you go out and do a bunch of shit so you can believe in yourself. Catch you guys later.